Alright, so now we'll talk about mathematics and how the Mandela effect can lead us from one universe into another one, a parallel, if you want. So basically, if I know a value of something, let's say I know that I weigh 90 kilograms, let's say, yeah? Now I know that to be 90 kilograms, but if I look again and it's 85 kilograms, then the value of a quantity has changed, yeah, for no reason, yeah. Now that's a small change that's not really that significant as long as not many people have seen it. The effects from that change should remain localized, I suppose. But if I know that an object that's seen by a million people weighs 100 kilograms, yeah, and then I look again and it's 90, yeah, then everyone who has experienced that change, yeah, will be in that collective, parallel collective, where it's 90. So mathematics, yeah, is not something that can be changed without changing the universe that the viewer, ultimate viewer, is in. So whenever there is a change in a mathematical, whenever there is a change in a quantity or unit of something, then the collective that remembers that unit as being something else, yeah, or quantity being something else, just by knowing that it was different, they move into a universe where they know it's different, right? So you know that. Now, if we all know that the sun has 5 billion years left to burn off its fuel, yeah, and we wake up one morning and that's changed to 1 billion, and we all remember it as 5 billion, so we would have gone into a parallel where we're closer towards that apocalyptic end where the sun runs out of fuel, yeah. Now there are other things that can cause the sun to run out of fuel, like that. If a quantity, if the meaning of a quantity or a unit changes, yeah, where what we know to be worth 2 changes, yeah, where I say if there's 2 objects, yeah, we go into a universe where when we see 2 objects, we actually believe that there's one there, yeah. I don't know how stupid you have to be to believe that, but if we go into a universe where whenever you see 2 objects, yeah, you believe that there's one there, yeah. I don't know how to even construct a universe that would look like that, but if every time you knew that there was 2 objects there now is 1, yeah, that can be said to represent you moving into a parallel where what you knew as 2 is now 1, yeah. So where you know that birds generally have 2 legs, but then you go into a universe where all of a sudden now they generally have one leg. So what we'll see as two, we're now seeing as one. If you go into that universe there, then it might turn out that the sun only has 2.5 billion years left to burn off. Yeah. So whatever is causing that effect, yeah, it's not so important. But being able to predict what might happen once you start realizing something out of the ordinary, that's very important. Now, if you know of a change in a quantity or unit, yeah, you have to kind of extrapolate to see how that will, how that change, or what that change implies, yeah, to the rest of reality, yeah. You can actually calculate this before you actually see the rest of reality, if you like. You can actually see a change and then deduce what something else is going to be now that that change has happened. Yeah. So I just want you to think in terms of when you see a change that you attribute to the Mandela effect, start calculating, extrapolating, calculating what else would have changed and what the value of that unit is now, you know. So if you notice that twos have become one, then you just divide everything by two. Right? If tens have become five, then everything else you're gonna see will be divided into two. Right? So you can then predict what everything else is gonna turn out to mean. I'm just saying that once a mathematical value or unit changes, it changes everything in your universe. Yeah. So the Mandela effect is something that you realize, to me, is something that you realize gradually. Once you know this to be true, of course, in your mind, it's not going to be making sense if something else contradicts that. Yeah. If everything you knew to be two has now become one, then everything that involved multiplying that by something is now halved. Right? If, for example, if you know that you get 3 pairs of eggs to make a carton of 6, and then you now see that it takes one egg 3 times, and it's a carton of 3, not 6, then you're gonna have to start thinking about how everything that involved things being added in pairs now looks like, you see. So you can start to think about all the other things that would have been affected by that realization. And remember, your realization, yeah, affects what you're gonna realize next, what your mind would accept as being real. Yeah, your mind can't realize that there's hot air, yeah, then in the next moment realize snow on the ground. Yeah, so it won't make sense. You say, right, you've seen the thermometer, it's saying like 50 degrees Celsius. You're not going to be able to see snow on the ground. Your mind won't allow you to see that. Your cognition process is not, you're not going to be able to see snow on the ground if you've seen 50 degrees Celsius on the thermometer. So you, the observer, also affects what you're observing. And I think, is it entanglement or something like that? Explains how the observer affects what they're observing. So if you're realizing that change, well, I'll tell you, this talk has been leading to that, to what I was saying. What I'm going to tell you now, basically, there was one time I saw Luther Vandross, the singer. I saw him dead on TV, yeah, and I didn't think nothing of it. Went to work, everything was normal. Yeah, 4 months later, I hear that the man had just died, and I said, "Well, 4 months later, but 4 months prior to that, I saw the man dead." Yeah, so I realized it, but because I ignored it, it went away. But as soon as I realized that if I had started talking to people about it, I would have made it real. But I don't wish the man to be dead. He was a great soul singer, some good tunes which I grew up on. So I left it, yeah. And then I heard that it was dead 4 months later. Well, I don't know. Maybe that was a premonition, or is it the Mandela effect, or are they one and the same thing? Anyway, food for thought. I'm going to end this talk because I was just leading up to that, but I'm just saying, if you do realize something freaky, if you keep it to yourself, it might not happen. But if you start talking about it, it might. Shit. We might be able to bring people back from the dead. Out.